afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another exciting Propagandacast with me, your host, Imperial Dane, Master of Propaganda, Hero of the Reich, Defender of the Fatherland, here to deliver to us in a glorious Propagandacast, straight from the fields of World War II. We shall be watching All-Stars Jeep fighting for the Americans for the 1st Infantry Division, the glorious 1st, versus WmDSandland fighting for the Panzer Lehr Division. It is from the Game Replays tournament. This is from the series about who actually gets to get 3rd place. So, Wehrmacht versus United States. Standard start from both players. That is 2 pioneers or engineers. Wehrmacht quarters up, barracks up. A bit of discussion here who will win, Armstrong or Tommy, since both of those were the ones who actually got to the finals. Pioneers heading down, and both players are in fact ignoring the munitions point right next to the base. And also note, look, both of them look like to be focusing right here on the victory point and the munition right down here. So obviously they're hoping for some infantry to connect up here against standard, but I mean, my goodness, they're largely mirroring each other's actions, except now the pioneers are heading right, whilst these ones are also heading right, whereas these probably ought to be heading there to sort of fully mirror it, but still pretty interesting. Pretty interesting when you get that much of a mirroring of... No, he's even ignoring that strategic point. What is Sandland up to? Also note, both of them are Danes. Yes, Danes. Of which there's an overabundance amongst the higher ranks of Danes compared to other nationalities. There's something there for you to chew on. Bike out second for Sandland, whereas we're seeing a second rifleman squad out there for Jeep. Bike patrols ahead for the Panzer Lehr. The BMW bike, not the Sundap, which was the other primary bike used by the Wehrmacht, but the Sundap could actually reverse, and since this one can't, well, logic states then it must be a BMW bike with the sidecar. We're seeing a pretty harsh move up there for Jeep on the left-hand side, and Sandland are patrolling very aggressively with his bike, trying to figure out where Jeep is, where his forces are. And there we go, jumping upon them with an MG, finding a few rounds there. The riflemen largely unscathed. Some of them might have gotten a slight bruise or a paper cut. Volkswagen sitting upon the engineers right here, hoping of course all to penetrate the lines of Sandland. In this case though, the only thing that gets penetrated is their flesh as bullets tear through them, and one goes down, waving as his friends leave him. Don't mind me. I'm a bad person anyways. I actually like Hitler. Anyways, bike opening up on the rifleman. Bike, they're also taking considerable damage. The bike not being the toughest of vehicles, though it can actually do considerable damage with its MG, which is somewhat like the LMG 42, just more accurate overall, just less suppression-wise. Engineers moving up here. Pretty aggressive move for the fuel point of Sandland. Very aggressive playing by the Americans overall. He's here, he's there, he's everywhere. He is Jeep. Volkswagen taking up position in the cemetery, hoping that shall not be their final standing round. And looks like they might try to push for the cutoff. Rifleman engaging them. Rifleman here could sneak up and try and hit them in the flank. We're seeing more rifle moving up there. This could be a nice flanking maneuver by Jeep. Mines going down there by Sandland, trying to cover the flanks. Bike moves in, pushing the rifle out of cover. Pioneers moving up there. MG42 moving up to join the rest. And the Pioneers in there running into the house for cover. The rifle right here running into a problem. The Wehrmacht is charging in, attacking from every angle. A full-on assault. The Sturm, die Volksgrenadiers. Volksgrenadiere. Rifle moving up, though, catching the Volksgrenadiers out of cover, opening up. The market stall turns in to a battlefield. A very considerably short one. Volksgrenadier goes down. Bike out in the open. Pioneers repairing. Volksgrenadier firing. MG could flank the riflemen and suppress them. This is not a good position for Jeep at the moment. The rifleman bites the dust. Bike charges in, going to push them out, and sadly Jeep was not quick enough to try and focus it down otherwise. And there we go. The bike opens up, suppressing the riflemen, leaving them easy targets. Easy pickings. Pioneers going in for the cutoff point. Very, very aggressive play from both players within the first few minutes. Lots of things going on. Riflemen are dying. Bullets being poured down their throats. Hot lead delivered Wehrmacht style. Volksgunners, though, take some losses as the riflemen, in fact, refusing to leave until the very end. Well, almost the very end. And we are seeing Jeep going in, trying to flank the MG42, forcing Zandland to have to reposition it. And there we go, Bike charges in. And we're seeing another push going in from north. Can he succeed in outflanking it? The Bike positions itself right between the MG and the rifleman, allowing them to be suppressed. Oh, the rifleman now stopping up in the middle of everything. What is Jeep doing? What is he doing? And sadly, he does not have grenades, otherwise he could be delivering a nasty surprise to the Krauts. Volksgunners squad here taking heavy damage. Another one looks to be out, so that's 3 Volksgunners squads, a Bike and an MG out. Rather reminiscent of the strategy I employed, which is 3 Volksgunners, an MG and a Schwimmwagen. Largely, in fact, the same sort of order. Volksgunner, Schwimmwagen, Volksgunner, MG, and then a Volksgunner squad. So, largely, well, aggressive. And again, that sort of strategy which I employ, except with the Schwimmwagen, is also meant to be a more aggressive one, but can also be shifted towards defense. So, very nice play there. And obviously, in that sense, of course, I can say more about this strategy than perhaps otherwise. And again, it is meant for strategy aggression, it's meant for attacking, but again, at a moment's notice, it can be employed in a more defensive set-off if desired, which the Bike or Schwimmwagen again can also provide reconnaissance, protecting you a bit against flanks. Mine goes off here, right here by the fuel point. Nice mining by Jeep. He's losing his points over here, though, to some aggressive pioneer work. Rifle engineers sent in to burn them out. Deal with those damn Krauts, and Browning automatics on the way now for Jeep. Mines going down heavily for Zandland. Troops retreating. Pioneers retreating. Everyone's retreating, even Heinz. And there we go, the Browning automatics are ready. The assault moves in. Bike comes under fire. Could in fact go out to the might of the Browning automatic rifle. A light machine gun for the Americans, although actually meant for something that was called a battle rifle, which is like an assault rifle in a sense, just even big ammunition. Also a bit more impractical. Rifleman moving in from the north. Mining there, counter-mining again. Nice move there from Zandland. As for those wondering, yes, THQ is currently under auction. There's going to be some biddings going up today. We don't know the result. THQ, though, mind you, is not dead yet. We'll, of course, have to see how it goes in the next few days. Perhaps they'll be allowed to be kept in one piece. Perhaps Reddick and Company Heroes 2 will be sold out to someone. But Company Heroes 2 will come out. It's too close to being finished not to be released by someone. Can't really say anything more than that, since I don't know any more than that. The next few days will show. But heavy mining right here, and it's really paying off dividends, allowing Zandland to hold off this against an otherwise rather sizable assault force. But again, mines win games. Good mining in particular wins games. Rather makes it difficult for anyone to move in. Which again also makes it so sad that a lot of American players do seem to neglect that. Trier Sender goes up, healing the troops. Nice move there. Rifleman holding up position there as a blockade position to annoy and bother Hans. It's the Wehrmacht plan. We're actually seeing a sniper now being added. That's definitely not within the realm of my strategy. So there you go. Heavier tier 1 there. He's probably doing that to do more damage to Jeep. And of course, knowing he's gone for the Browning automatics, Zandland might be going for a Sturm Armory, in which case, of course, I mean, going a sniper is going to help the tier 1 a bit longer, and allowing him to go for that Sturm Armory. We'll see, though. Rifleman here, though, taking heavy damage, and Rifleman squad could go down for Jeep and the 1st Infantry Division. Panzer Lehr scores the first kill for the Fatherland. Flamethrower engineers moving in. A full-out assault by Jeep, but the engineers also taking heavy losses. MG almost cleared out. BAR could be picked up by the Volksgunners. Rifleman pushing in, and the MG squad goes down. A heavy loss. And we're seeing Volksgunners being sent in to recruit. But they could also be going on. The Rifleman moving in. Troops getting sniped from nearby the church. And there we go. He could seize the MG42 and turn it against the crowds. But he isn't. What are you doing, Zandland? I mean, Jeep, come on. Pick up the MG42. Pick up, pick up, pick up. But no, he's continuing. His riflemen are down to considerably few men in one squad. 2 men. He's firing away at the Pioneers, but he's forgetting the Volksgunners up there. So few men left, and he's continuing. He's forgotten about the MG42. Rifleman veterans, oh dear, down to 1 man. The sniper gets him. He lost another rifleman squad. He's down to 2 squads of riflemen. Absolutely horrendous for Jeep right there, and the MG42 still not been picked up, I think. And 2 snipers out now for Sandland. 2 snipers, and I suspect in this case that Jeep got a bit too greedy. He should have settled for the MG42, I think. But then again, with 2 snipers, it is questionable how much use it would have been. And Jeep going, I'm too tired for this. Of course, tournaments are also in a training sort of thing about endurance as well, since you have to play a lot of games in succession. Of course, that is so. Thus, a tournament also becomes a training in endurance or test of endurance. And some players can have a bit of trouble playing that, and you also see it in the finals that some players just basically give up because they're so bloody tired after playing already so many games, and then they might have to go through a best out of 5. And some players simply can't handle that. But the Panzer Lehr now adding in a few sharpshooter, the snipers. Holding up with an MG42, desperately crewed by a few pioneers. Heinz wondering, do I point it this way or this way? Volkskriegs moving up with the now purloined BAR. This is now my MG18. Let's call it that. Bike though in a bit of trouble. Armoured car out for Jeep. Nice move there. Armoured doctrine also up. Engineers moving in and getting sniped. Flamethrower squad down. Oh dear. Jeep continues to lose men. It's actually time to look at Sandland and the Panzer Lehr. No doctrine for him yet. Panzerfaust goes off. Takes out a nice chunk of the armoured car's health. 50 caliber though appears. Volkskriegs down, and there we go. The 50 caliber adds in more doom and gloom. Snipers moving away, although uncloaked. Pioneers pushed off. Armoured car might try and move in and kill them off. Decides not to. And looks like Sandland is gathering at the edge of town, lining up for an assault. Gathering up what he needs, and looks like he's also got 2 pioneers. Never mind. I figured he might have more. Hanging about there. Armoured car getting repaired. Nicely done there. Good maintenance of your vehicles is important, whereas this Jeep is not. I mean, bike is not being maintained. Jeep is, on the other hand, maintaining his armoured car. Brilliant. Kampfkraft sends up, actually. Pack out. Of course, he now knows there's an armoured car, so of course, in that sense, Pack is good. He's getting some grenadiers out, adding more infantry. In fact, the Panzer Lehr reinforcing with even tougher infantry. The Panzer Lehr being a rather elite division, getting some of the best personnel available, and also getting rather heavily equipped in terms of vehicles. In fact, being one of the few Panzer divisions to actually have its Panzer Grenadier regiments fully equipped with half-tracks. Not a lot could do that. Snipers opening up on the NGs, and we're seeing a second armoured car out for Jeep. He's really laying it in there. 2 guns. But no, oh, there we go. Armoured skirts up, firing away. Volkskriegs taking heavy damage, heavy losses, in fact. The Greyhound doing terrible damage, reaping a terrible toll, and the sniper goes down on retreat. Excellent usage of 2 armoured cars. By the way, it's actually rare to see an American player going for 2 armoured cars like that. Pack up, but it's pointing in the wrong direction. Of course, Jeep does not know, otherwise you could have driven up right behind it and done terrible things. Grenadiers moving up with a Panzerschreck, and they miss. Oh, there we go. Pack lining up against the armoured cars, and there we go. Nice hit. And they quickly disperse. Main gun destroyed, though, on one of them. And it just barely makes it out behind the house before the Panzerguns manage to line up the Panzerschreck and fire. Of course, firing a rocket launcher, particularly the Panzerschreck or the Panzerfaust in the building, rather meant you actually had to clear it out first and ensure there was some, I don't know, clear room behind it. Otherwise, I can't exactly remember the entire sort of technical bits of, but you basically end up burning yourself to death because there's no way for all the exhaust gases to go. But going for the cutoff again. Engineers coming under fire, although there's the Greyhound with a 50 caliber. Of course, the other one, and the Volkskriegs right there get bombarded. 37mm gun rounds. Blast them with slightly high explosive death. Forcing back Heinz, Helmut, Fritz, and Bob. The less than aptly named German. Bike moving about. Sandland having a bit of a nice time. No Kampfkraft send up him, or a medic bunker for that matter. No doctrine either. It looks like a mine's going down, and there we go. We see a doctrine up. We see Blitz. No, we see Terror, actually. Terror. Mine's going down there. Engineers here coming under fire. There's a few full scores moving in and flank. Minesweepers up, though. Jeep obviously concerned about German mines. That is good. Mines going down there, and a Ford barracks going up in the church. Laying really down that Sandland intends to hold the town in the name of the fatherland. He is not going to move one step backwards. So nice to see such great dedication from him. Going right there for the cutoff again. They're coming under fire from the Browning automatics. No supplied upgrades yet. No medic station either, and I think that could actually benefit Jeep in such a fight here. More Wehrmacht troops rushing in to try and contain the American counterattack. Armoured car opens up, takes a nasty hit from the pack, and we're seeing a second one out actually. Riflemen attacking in from several angles, getting stopped by MGs though in some parts. Walls getting blown apart in the market square. Volkswagen's dying as they caught out there, and mine stopping one part of the assault. A deeper flank from Jeep. Not looking too well there. I've only had some mortars to bombard the German positions. That would be absolutely great. I mean, note the proximity of everything right here. I mean, this would be absolutely great mortar territory. And I mean, really could end up really punishing Sandland, killing so much of his infantry if there was a mortar here. We do see a weapon support center up for Jeep, so could be a possibility. We, of course, could get a sniper in this case. Bike, though, taking nasty damage. Damaged engine, in fact. And out of control. Oh, no. Greyhounds repaired. Pack moving up. And two armoured cars opening up on the Volksgrenadiers, trying to avoid the pack as well. Although heavily damaged, although the engineers could rush it with the flamethrowers. Volksgrenadiers are moving in. Pack already down one man. Will they be able to finish it off? Pack moving. Armor cars could move in and try and finish it off on the move. Volksgrenadiers and Pioneers rushing in, trying to support. Flamethrowers moving in, rushing in. Will they get the pack? Will they be able to open up a gap in Sandland's defenses? But no. Another pack arrives to ensure that this will not result in a collapse of the right flank of the, well, things. So rather nice handling right there by Sandland, although very close there for it actually working for Jeep. Pulling it back up to the church to reinforce it. Again, strong point in the defensive plan, of course, also for any further offensives. And there we go, Kampfkraft sent up. We're probably seeing a bit of veterancy now for the infantry. Sniper waiting in the darkness. Greyhound getting repaired. And of course, infantry doctrine here would also be nice. I mean, again, close proximity of infantry would be nice for howitzer. There we go, charging in MG42 up, setting up behind a poster thing. Not entirely sure what you call that. And doing nicely there to Jeep's infantry, stopping the assault. Armoured coming up here in the north, although heavily damaged. At the same time, we do see a rather exposed base from Sandland. I mean, an armoured car here or two could actually move in and do a lot of havoc, fire away, harass, lay down Greyhound mines, a lot of things, actually. And we are, in fact, seeing Sandland and the Panzer Lehr Division laying down a bunker. Nasty stuff, that. Greyhound almost repaired. Going for the cutoff right there. Very nasty stuff, that. Rifleman almost reinforced. Sniper out. Die Scharfschütze. And we go bunker up. Right behind a well. Might obstruct the view a bit, but there we go. MG bunker up to hold down the cutoff point. Troops getting suppressed. And right in middle of the negative cover, not good, but oh dear, and he actually got sniped. So now Jeep knows of Sandland. Sandland now knows of Jeep's sniper. Grenades going off, riflemen dying, but so is the Wehrmacht. The bunker though is almost up. And Sandland pulling back to the church for reinforcements. The Ford barracks, the Ford headquarters, whatever you like to call it, is certainly proving to be quite the asset for Sandland in this case. And there we go, bunker up. MG blazing, suppressing and killing. Greyhound's getting repaired. And it has returned to Jeep. Panzer Command up. Oh, well, battle phase anyway, so obviously we're going to see a Panzer Command soon from Sandland. Packs continue to fire, perhaps hoping to get the armoured cars and deny them the cover right there. Not unusual to see packs used in that way. Not unusual at all, in fact. Mortar now on the way, so obviously now Jeep is going for something a bit more artillery-like to try and break out of it. Something which ought to be used to bombard any clustered-up German positions. That could really turn the tide for Jeep if handled well. We'll have to see.
Our front lines are collapsing.
Volkswagen here coming under fire though, getting assaulted by an armoured car, 50 caliber, raking them with bullets, 37mm gun, firing as well, but not really hitting though. Not really hitting. Can actually end up suppressing them. And there we go, 2 Volkswagens gone in seconds. Pack though manages another nice hit. Alongside a Panzer faster, the armoured car is forced to pull back. Rifleman sniper moving up. And a unit actually went down. Looks like some pioneers were cut down in fact, in the open. Main gun destroying the armoured cars. Both armoured cars are neutralized at the moment. They are not destroyed, but they cannot take part in the fighting without getting completely wrecked. And there we go, the mortar's up. 60mm mortar for the Americans, since they actually didn't have that much of greater mortars. In fact, the biggest they had was the 80mm, where the Germans actually had the 120mm, which rather allowed them to have an 80mm mortar on the company level, whereas the Americans couldn't quite have that. And that's rather one of the reasons why the German mortar is actually bigger, in some ways more powerful than the Americans, but on the other hand, the American mortar can come out quicker, and of course, I mean, if you know how to use it, the American mortar can be just as lethal, if not more, because, I mean, it does, in fact, the same amount of damage to infantry. The only difference lies in buildings, to a larger part, and some extent vehicles, but again, with enough veterancy, I mean, an American mortar is going to be quite lethal. And we are in fact seeing Sandland moving away, responding with heavy force to a small harassment attempt over here by Jeep. Probably also to get away from the mortar, who's bombarding the bunker. And we are seeing a second mortar on the way for Jeep. This can actually work out quite well. I mean, some units, of course, just get better if you have more than one of them.
Krauts have cut forward supply lines.
The armoured cars, for example, seem to have done quite a lot of damage in pairs. Let's see if the mortar does the same. Troops here getting hammered with MG fire. 3 rifleman squads up, still like to see a medic station for him. And there we go. Bunker is gone. The centre is clear. And of course, the mortars can continue to support and assault, which can actually prove to be a problem for Sandland. And again, moving in, hitting a few exposed Volkswagens up here. Pack actually waiting, hoping to catch it, but sadly no quite luck there. And Jeep on the hunt now, could even get a Volkswagen squad with a bit of luck. 50 cal 37mm gun being a nice combination against retreating Volksgrenadiers. Doesn't quite seem to have any luck though this time around, and he actually pulls back, decides not to go fully forward. Armour car going to caught out in the middle of the road. Will Jeep get it? No, he doesn't seem to be paying attention. Oh, what a missed opportunity right there for Jeep to get a pack knocked out. American advance are going up there. Mortar bombarding the church, point around the church. Heavy losses for the Wehrmacht. Mine went off right there, missed it. My fault. But the mortars are definitely killing. 2 and 4 kills already. Pack getting mortared. In fact, almost cleared out. Nicely down there. The other mortar pulling up behind cover. So continue bombarding the Wehrmacht position. And there we go. Sandland actually climbing up. He, of course, is using the church. But at the same time, now it's considerably more dangerous to fight near the church. So, of course, that means Jeep's mortar has a nice point to hit. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Is Sandland aware of going on? And there we go. Another few kills. German infantry advancing through the chaos. Armored cars providing cover. Heavy losses. Damaged engine on the armored car. Mortar number 2 could pull up here to the other side of the river and continue. Mortar retreats. Number 1 already veterancy 1 though. Armored car out of control. And Sandland celebrating. He finally got a kill. But really, those mortars could prove to be quite a problem. I mean, already together they probably got about, well, 10 kills. Oh, never mind, that wrong unit. 9 kills still. Pretty nasty, pretty nasty. Panzer 4 rolls into town, but already now Jeep is prepared with an anti-tank, and the Panzer Lehr's Panzers are rolling in and getting a bit pushed off. No veteranry either, making them, in fact, quite exposed to American anti-tank guns. Snipers close to each other, and Jeep now knows it. He's going to move up. And there we go, sniper surprises the other sniper who gets the first shot. And there we go. American Jeep sniper shot first. Panzer 4 rolling through the mortar fire. MG cleared out by the mortars. Anti-tank gun opening up on the rear of the Panzer. Oh my goodness. The mortars are just wreaking havoc. Troops getting sniped.
We're losing ground out there. Composition B is in.
And the thing to remember about mortars is, at least the American mortar, Veterans 1 actually becomes more accurate.
200 points.
At Veterans 2 it fires fast, and at Veterans 3 it actually gains a damage bonus. Some poor bastard went down there. Some other poor bastard got sniped there. But now with 2 mortars covering the advance, Jeep is moving forwards again for Uncle Sam, for Liberty and Apple Pie. So 2 mortars, 3 riflemen squad, a sniper. Looks like Jeep is making a bit of a comeback right there. The mortars definitely have taken out and certainly demonstrated why you should never underestimate mortars. More mortar fire going in. Church being bombarded. Victory point being resecured. Jeep not doing too well there. Panzer 4 getting repaired. Sandland reorganizing a defense further back into town, having lost the front of it. Mortar pulling up behind but there's nothing to cover it. Oh, propaganda war in fact forced away. And the MG, he was close to getting the MG, and Sandland did not want to lose it. Called in a propaganda war. Vodka squad could get hit. Jeep, pack, armor coming, dodges the first shot. And the MG actually managed to get out of there. Bloody close. Armacado takes a few nasty hits. Second, Panzer 4 rolls out for the Panzer Lehr, but no veterans yet. No veterans yet. And pack here could get... Oh, the gunners reveal the entire pack crew. Du Dummkopf Hans. And the riflemen going to make short work of that. Oh, there's a mine awfully close. No, they're sticking to the corners. And there we go. So close, no. So close. And there we go. Pack decrewed and recruited by now by Americans. It's now an AT gun to be used against the evil Huns, the Bosch, the Krauts. Damaged engine on the armored car. American anti-tank gun moving up. Mortars moving up. Mortar rounds falling down, and no counter-artillery so far from Sandland, but we do see a King Tiger arriving from the reserve from the Funkline Abteilung, which actually had 1 King Tiger for some reason. Panzer 4 still taking heavy damage. 1 in fact could go down. 1 more hit and it could be good in a night for Panzer Pole. And there we go. Nice mortar round. Gets a few pioneers and the grenadiers. Heavy damage right there as the mortars continue to rain American death over town. 12 and 6. That is 18 kills. That is definitely nasty. Definitely earning in their keep. Packs and anti-tank guns recruit. King Tiger rolling into town. Sandland desperately rushing it in to contain the American madness. Troops are reinforcing. Infantry not doing too well. The church is separated. The Fort Command Post in trouble. And King Tiger moving in. There was nothing to alert him, so now the anti-tank is not quite properly placed. There's a Panzer 4 immobilized. Calliope arriving. Anti-tank gun wrecked. Only 1 left. First shot bounces off the front of the King Tiger and the crew dives to a high explosive round. Mortars are pulling back, surprisingly enough. Second anti-tank gun being prepared. Panzer 4 still stuck. The crew finding himself in a slightly uncomfortable position. Divisional command, we are stuck here. And it smells like something is burning. I don't hope it's the ammunition. Armoured car moving in to actually flank the King Tiger and actually manages a penetrating hit. Mortars bombarding it, hoping to hit as well. In fact, one King Tiger during Market Garden for the fighting in Ireland was actually knocked out by a mortar round, hitting the rear parts, actually knocking it out completely by destroying the engine. Likely fun fact there. Of course, rather rare, but still happened. Certainly one of the more fun stories. And there we go, full retreat. Anti-tank and they're arriving. Sandland pulling back the King Tiger, not wanting to risk it. Not at least without sufficient support. And there we go, full Grenadiers moving in. Wrecking the anti-tank gun. Can't risk it falling into the hands of the Yankees again. And let's go have a look at Sandland. Now in a slightly tricky position. Mortar rounds continue to fall down. Troops continue to get sniped. And another Calliope barrage. Mortar rounds gets 2 faults against, gains veterancy 2 actually. Grenadier down. And the church is almost down as well. Almost down. Troops getting shot at, MG'd. And the pack actually gets recruited. Not entirely sure what Jeep does in this case. It's quite exposed, this anti-tank gun. Grenadiers though moving in. Getting sniped. Gets the main gun on the armoured car, quickly sending that away. Sandan still cursing his luck in not being able to finish off those armoured cars. Gets another man lost, but the command post is still up. Quickly resupplies with more troops. Panzer IV getting repaired. The other one still not fully repaired, and still no veterancy for his Panzers. Fulton is getting equipped with MP40, and there we go, heading the flank of Jeep's positions. Nothing to really stop it. And there we go, the flank is collapsing. Anti-tank and could get decrewed, allowing for a push by Panzers by Sandland on the Panzer Lehr. Anti-tank and crew dead. Armoured car rolling in. Trying to stop the naughty Germans. One gets sniped. Panzerfaust on the armoured car. Troops get suppressed simply due to sheer fire from all the automatic weapons. Anti-tank and quickly recruit. King Tiger moving into the cemetery. Exposing itself to heavy fire. And there we go. Calliope barrels once more with a Panzer IV rolls straight into it. The church continues to absorb most of the fire, though limiting the overall effectiveness of the Calliope as it fires in a more narrow arc, where some units artillery can fire a bit more over. Mortar getting closer. Decrewing the church again. Another anti-tank gun. Other mortar moves up again. However, shall this work out? Do you think Sandler needs some veterancy for his Panzers though? And he actually moves one forwards. Bit of a bold move, a bit of a gamble. Mortars firing away, could actually end up hitting it. And bombarding the area where they actually have to enter the town to prevent any infantry from joining up with the Panzers. Though they can easily move. Oh, no, man, there's a mine from Sand. No, that's actually his own, so he could actually not set it off. But assault is going in. There we go, moving up the flank. Although the mine could go off. The mine could go off if he's not careful. Wouldn't take much. Grenade on the anti-tank gun. Troops getting sniped. Moving in against the MG. Engineer squad, and there we go, the mine set off by the mortar, almost killing both squads. And there we go, it went from 6 to 11 kills in the blink of an eye. Rifleman squad getting squished by the sheer volume of fire from the Panzers. Volker squad moving in, but gets cleared up by the armoured car. Other Panzers are advancing. Heavy losses for Sandland, down to so little infantry. The Panzer Lehr is deprived of troops, of boots on the ground, leaving behind only the Panzers to do the work. And they're themselves under fire from anti-tank guns and mortars, and now the Calliope. Armoured car though gets a destroyed engine. And destroyed engine on the other Panzer IV. Jeep going, no. Very dramatically, no. No. Veteran D2 on this mortar as well now. And it gets the kill on the Panzer IV, knocking it out and killing one of the attendant pioneers repairing it. Heavy losses for Sandland now. And his Panzers are forced away, so damaged, but he's forced to leave the King Tiger behind. Otherwise, the entire center will be lost and he'll be having to expend even more resources to move in again. So right here, I mean, we are really seeing the effects of an excellent comeback by Jeep, using 2 mortars amongst other things. I mean, together they've actually knocked out close to 30 men. That's pretty damn impressive. Plus, of course, the bunker. I mean, he's really using him to sort of hammer his way through Sandland's forces. Sticky bomb on the King Tiger Calliope. He's adding a bit anti-tank guns, riflemen, but really the mortars are doing most of the killing at this stage, I think. WmDSandland and Volkskas moving up, rifle a bit caught off guard there. MG has not been recruited still by Sandland. Church finally rendered neutral. The command post has been dealt with. The guys hiding all the grenadiers inside that church are gone. King Tiger getting subjected to a Calliope barrage, taking not a lot of hits. The cafe absorbing most of the fire, much to the chagrin of the cafe owner. Anti-tank guns getting rushed by grenadiers. Grenadiers continue to get sniped. Veterans are free, by the way, now. Down to 1 grenadier. MG recruit by one poor bastard who's wondering where everybody else is. Leute, I'm all alone here in the street. Where is everybody? Oh dear, and the Volkswagen's right here by the victory point. Could get subjected to a very nasty barrage. Bike moving in, hoping to catch a sniper, I think. He might even succeed. And down to 1 Volkswagen. Oh, sniper in trouble. Will the bike though get it for the fatherland? Will he score a victory? Will he get vengeance for all the Germans slain by this vile assassin? And the Volkswagen is just getting everything and the kitchen sink thrown at him. Or is the King Tiger the target? He got the sniper, but he lost the bike in the process. Grenadiers managed to sneak up there and secure that point. King Tiger though is stuck. The treads are gone by the looks of it, and the engine is not really functional either. So this is not looking good. 2 Calliopes now out for Jeep. Rocket actually bouncing off the King Tiger, and there we go. King Tiger is down, kaput. The Panzer Lehr has lost its strongest asset. Calling in some later Kreuzträger to now make up for it, but that was definitely not good for Sandland. He's down to 1 Panzer and a bit of infantry. He could consider upgrading some of them with an MG to help deal with the American infantry, but overall not looking too good for Sandland. His only hope might in fact be a victory point victory, which would rather require a few more specific jabs at the victory points, the more outer edge ones. And of course it's rather dependent that Jeep for some reason does not sneak a single unit up here and secures all of this. I mean, he could just send 1 engineer and he could really cause Sandland a headache. Mortar runs continue to bombard this area. Nicely done there. Other mortar up here. Panzer supporting a grenadier movement towards the northern victory point. Calliope, of course, could fire back. Veterans flee for this one, by the way, after killing a King Tiger. Knight's Cross, no, Volkswagen's Knight's Cross going up there. Troops up here getting absolutely blasted into the dirt. Mortar rounds flying down as well. The Grenadiers pulling back in the face of all this pressure. Propaganda will push away the riflemen, leaving 1 mortar exposed. And there we go, retreat anti-tank, and also in the danger zone of getting dealt with by the Ritterkreuzträger of Sandland und die Panzer Lehr. Going for the cutoff point as well. A very aggressive, continued aggressive play by Sandland. Though he's been very neglectful of even putting down some pressure down here, I think. But that is obviously too late now. And, oh, very close right here. Anti-tank gun cleared out. Panzer IV in a terrible position. Needs to pull back. Knight's Cross could clear out the anti-tank gun here. But now Pershing arrives. A Pershing. And Sandland pretty much only has a Panzerschreck and a Panzer IV to start with, and now he's getting more Knight's Cross. The Knight's Cross he already had are dead. Bombarding the northern area, losing another Grenadier to the rockets of doom and gloom. Pershing charges into town. Sandland needs to cancel the Knight's Cross. He needs a Panther. He needs a Panther. Well, there's a lot more Panzer force, and oh no, Jeep's moving in the Jeep mortar to take the victory point. We're going to lose the mortar squad. Oh dear, Jeep, what are you doing? And where's the Pershing?
We are losing territory.
The mortar actually survives this, much to my surprise. Rifleman taking the victory point, but at a heavy cost, and a propaganda war actually means it's wasted effort by Sandland. Calipers though firing back at the Panzer IV. Panzer IV quick retreat, avoiding most of the rockets, but still taking some damage.
The Yankees are grabbing our territory. The enemy has 50 points left.
And what will Sandland do on the other hand? I mean, Jeep needs to hold the points. No, he's currently just trying to slow it down.
Attention.
He could call in a firestorm. He might want to consider some more infantry, and again he needs to consider harassing this point. Firestorm in fact going down up here, I think. No.
Defended the fatherland.
Huh. Or did he call down the firestorm? Oh, he did call it up here, in fact. Rather than forced off, but still 2 points now. Neutral, that's slightly helpful, but not looking good for Jeep. Come on, Jeep, you can do it. You've done so well so far. And now he's charging in with the Calipers and the Pershing, hoping to push away the Knight's Cross from the victory point. Mortar rounds going down. Pack now ready for Sandland.
We are crushing them. We're losing territory.
So few points left for Jeep. First Infantry Division hanging on by a tether, but so is Sandland. Both forces have been absolutely battered and bashed in. And now the Panzer IV once more rolls forward. The only thing keeping it together are, I don't know, prayers and possibly a belief in Krupp steel. And a mortar was there to take it, and the Panzer IV got it. That Panzer IV is a killing machine. Rifle moving in, no one's recruited an anti-tank and had to help with the... Oh dear, gee. And now Rifleman getting murdered again. The Rifleman fight on, but oh no. He needs to recruit the anti-tank, and he needs to just fire off one good shot at the Panzer IV, and it's good night. And there we go, recruiting it. Volkswagen's retreating, pack ready. No further Panzer IVs. Looks like Sandland might be gathering up a few assault parties. MD-42 could be recruited by Jeep, perhaps stationed right here to protect this central victory point, but he needs to hold on to it like a maniac with nothing to lose. Well, everything to lose, in fact, so quite the opposite. A maniac with everything to lose. A desperate maniac. The best kind of maniac, I suppose. More pioneers are on the way. Panzer IV is going to be in need of a dire overhaul. And there's only an anti-tank gun to protect the northern point. He needs some heavy machine guns up. He's got the weapon support, and as he could just get a 30 caliber. But he needs something to protect against harassment. He cannot afford anything taking a point, and he needs that MG42. Come on, Jeep. He needed that MG42 in the first place. Much earlier in that match. And there we go. Knight's Cross are charging in. Their assault rifles blazing at the anti-tank gunners. Quick counter-response, though, from Jeep, but they're too close, and a propaganda war sends them off. Calliope could perhaps save the day. And there we go. Other force moving in, the Grenadiers moving in brusquely, and they could... No, never mind. Mortar going to get pushed off. Pershing moving in, and Knight's Cross getting bombarded with rockets. And they are dead. It's actually time to look at Jeep. forces look reasonably equal, but Jeep has the much more heavily armoured forces. Calliope is bombarding the troops right next to the victory point. Down to one man. A grenadier squad is dead. He's got a few anti-tank guns, and that Panzer IV still getting repaired, but so little left for Sandland. So little left for the Panzer Lehr. Calliope's moving in. Packs opening up. Field repairs up. Panzer IV moving in. Still nothing to even attempt taking this point. Tragic. Pack could in fact go down right there. And there we go. Allied war machine up. Jeep has nothing, well, everything to lose again, so he's pretty much just gambling it all. Allied war machine up. Sticky bombs on the Panzer IV. Main gun destroyed. He's trying to push him away and... No! Jeep lost! Jeep lost this. He was so close. Had he been able to just render that point neutral, if not for that Panzer IV, he would have won. But this Panzer IV was the bane of Jeep. This single Panzer IV won Sandland the game, partly by doing so much damage up here and then moving down here to just push Jeep right away from the victory point, just in the nick of time. I mean, I really would have loved Jeep to win this, because, I mean, he really came back from having very little over the map and being in a nasty position, but by using 2 mortars, he was able to slowly expand and cause Sandland so much damage. I mean, those mortars were absolute hell on Sandland's infantry. The anti-tank guns, the Calliope certainly did well, but those mortars were definitely the stars of this match, at least I think so. I mean, Sandland also played well, not to say that, but, I mean, he probably didn't react as well as he could have to those mortars. He never got a counter-mortar of his own, which I think is a bit of a shame, or a half-track with some rockets strapped to it. So, bit of a shame there. He could also benefit from an egg bunker or some Panzer veterancy, but really nice usage of the Panzer IV, although rather risky in keeping that point sort of his for just long enough. Bit of a gamble there on the victory points, but it worked out for Sandland. But pretty damn close. Jeep's start, though, was less than good. He lost to too many riflemen, and he should have taken that MG42 when he had the chance, I think. Overall, though, pretty damn exciting game. Really close to the edge, and I mean, it really looked like Jeep would have won this. And again, had this not happened, had that Panzer IV not pushed them away, he would have won this, because then Sandland would have been dead. This was really a last-ditch effort by Sandland to win the match, and the mighty Panzer IV secured him victory in der Name des Vaterlandes, a true hero of the Third Reich. So there you go. Hope you enjoyed this match. If you did, why not subscribe and tell your friends? If you didn't, well, why not send a replay of your own? Provide some feedback in the comments. What would you like to see? I mean, I can't provide 3 vs 3 or 4 vs 4. I simply can't keep up, and I don't think they're exciting. I do try with 2 vs 2s, but a lot of them lately are just sniper spam. Personally, I find that about as exciting as watching paint dry, so I don't do that much, but nonetheless, you know, try and of course endeavor to sort of find something, you know, it's in some sort of strategies particular you want to see, some particular player, let me know. I'll do what I can. But this is Imperial Dane saying cheers.